It is the Matt Mosley Show, Rogue Media Network. Kevin Hall with me as always, faithful producer and friend. And we're off to a fast start today. I want to kind of let you know how this is going to go. We got a lot of breaking news. Baylor is finally kind of cranked up on the as far as the portal goes. We caught up on that. Jerry Jones has just finished up. He and Steven and Brian Schottenheimer, long press conference today, went for, I don't know, it started late, but almost an hour. And so lots to react to there. And so we appreciate all our Twitter, a lot of Cowboys fans out there. We'll have Cowboys, we'll have Baylor. And then for our Baylor crowd and others just love college basketball. Number 3, Iowa State is at the Foster tonight. That's going to be a big one at 7 o'clock. That game's on Peacock, and we're the only game in town in terms that has Scott on today. In fact, I taped that yesterday, and so we have about a 25-minute exclusive one-on-one with Scott Drew where we cover James Najee, the state of the offense right now. Where's the defense? One thing I meant to get into him with is like, why is he so tough on Isaac Williams, a guy that can truly help them as a point guard off the bench, their most athletic point guard, I should add. And there's some things he can do that they really need, but there's some things he's doing that's annoying this staff. It's causing him to miss out on playing time. I'll have thoughts on that as the day unfolds, but we'll get into a lot with Scott Drew. And so around 2:30, we will go to the Scott Drew interview. And then at 3 o'clock today, I'll be taping a Doomsday podcast, reacting to all the stuff that happened with the Cowboys today. Of course, I'll do a lot of that live right now. But a lot of you maybe, if you haven't heard of the Doomsday podcast, sign up for the YouTube page. You can follow us on Apple, Spotify, all the different places where you catch Doomsday. So lots to get to today. And again, I've been monitoring this Cowboys news conference, and there's a lot to react to. And in fact, as we speak, our man Kevin we're going to have a little bit of that where we can show you some of what you may have missed there. And we'll have some of this breaking Baylor news. I do want to tell you that Baylor has DJ Lagway in town today. That is the quarterback out of Florida. He was a 5-star, unbelievable recruit a couple of years ago. Played early, played often at Florida, played well at times, not well at other times. His father played at Baylor, so Baylor may have a little bit of but again, we know it really comes down to money these days and how much you're willing to spend. We know Brendan Sorsby got $5 million to play at Texas Tech. We now have breaking news today of a Washington quarterback, DeMond Williams Jr., who signed a contract about 4 days ago to make somewhere in the neighborhood of, I believe, $4 million at Washington. And he has now announced that he's going into the portal, and it's believed he's already been in conversations with other teams, including LSU. LSU's out there looking for a quarterback as well. And this is a great player. He put up really good numbers for Jed Fish at Washington this year. And this is going to be an interesting case too, though, because it's going to come down to what are these contracts, how much is enforceable. They're going to try to hold him to this contract. They're going to fight. I think they'll be mad enough at some point at him to maybe want him to go. But at the same time, at some point you need to prove that one of these contracts is worth the paper that it's written on. This is going to be one to really, really watch. There's some other ones out there. Georgia's in a lawsuit right now, trying to hold one of their players' feet to the fire of an NIL deal contract he signed. But that is big news that's out there today. And then even since we've been with you, that's DeMond Williams Jr. I'm talking about. Ravens fired in the last 24 hours. It is actually, just about an hour or so after we were off the air yesterday. John Harbaugh is fired after 18 seasons and a Super Bowl title. You know, you think of Tomlin, Mike Tomlin, and John Harbaugh as guys that were just going to go on and on forever. And John Harbaugh, still fairly young at age. I guess Harbaugh, but it seems I can't believe he's 63. I think you read he was 63. He's extremely energetic. I think the 60-year-old coach, though, is having its moment with what Signetti's doing at Indiana, with the Michigan coach landing there, Kyle Whittingham at age 66. So I don't think, we used to kind of think 63 is old in coaching circles. I don't think we're really viewing it that way anymore. And in fact, Signetti right now, I think any NFL team would be happy to have him. But Indiana has, I think they're doing a look in on his contract as we speak. And he was already, jumped up there to somewhere in the neighborhood of like $11 million a year. And I think he has the ability. Of course, they win the national title. I think he needs to be the highest paid coach in the Big Ten at least. And I guess right now that might be Ryan Day at Ohio State. And then, let's not act like the new coach Whittingham didn't get a huge deal at Michigan. I think that's in the 8 or 9 range at Michigan. But anyway, these are tons. I love breaking news days. I love when all of this different stuff is happening. Jerry Jones is trending for obvious reasons. And then he's remained to talk to some reporters even afterwards. And so I'm going to give you a little bit. This was just 1 minute ago from John Machota, great friend of the show. I'll get you caught up. But Jerry Jones saying today that he wants to retire. People are like, really? Would he retire ever? But he said he wanted to retire after having the most Super Bowl titles, retire as having the most in the history of the NFL. Robert Kraft at New England, of course, with Bill Belichick and Tom Brady, has 6 of those. Jerry has 3. And so Jerry would have to get really busy at age 83 and get this thing going. So Jerry got a little sentimental today. He talked about the people who had inspired him the most and the fact that at 80 years old, T. Boone Pickens was dead broke and struggling, and that he was able to get rolling again. And by the time he was 85, he was a billionaire again. And so he talked about some of the people that inspire him. Here is one thing that Jerry just said. We want to get out here and do better than we did this year. There's the incentive, dare I say it, bust the budget to try to get something done now. Yes. We'll do some dramatic things. That was a dramatic thing we did, trading Micah Parsons. We didn't do it not to win games. The point is, this calls for some pretty controversial decisions. We're going to keep this thing as good as we can possibly be. Finances are no object. We're going to make it as entertaining as we can and keep it as lively as we can for everybody. All right. Oh, and Kev, I'm going to send you right now. I'm going to text you. I love that you're a big texter because that helps me. Okay, I just sent you another one, and this is the one where Jerry talks about that he wants to win. He wants to exceed, surpass Robert Kraft, who has 6 Super Bowls. And Jerry, of course, ends that one by saying he has work to do. And then, this is there's Kev. There's Kev.
Do we need any more entertainment from Jerry?
Yes. That's the only thing he can do.
You need results.
Well, sorry.
You need results.
You come to the wrong place.
Exactly. Oh, man.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So, by the way,
fact checking. Jim Harbaugh, 63. You were right. And Ryan Day is the highest paid at 12 plus million. Curt Signetti is just barely in second at 11.6 million in the Big Ten. And you ready for this?
Yeah.
I called the loser of the Sunday Night Football game would be fired as a coach.
And so if it
as the
had
game
been,
was happening.
yeah, okay, all right, we knew. All right, I like fact checks when the fact check is you saying I was right. Those are the best fact checks. I'm
There you
okay,
go.
by the way, you saying if I'm wrong too. Okay, all right, I sent you
you
that one.
you wanna play
Yeah,
the
yeah,
Jerry
yeah,
on
yeah,
Brian
yeah.
one?
Yeah, this is what I love about this. The YouTube, the whole thing. We can kind of do things as we go.
Yep.
So here is Jerry Jones. This is the first one I think I sent you, Kev, and this is some of Jerry Jones today talking about what they need to get done, and obviously there was a lot of talk about having a new defensive coordinator. Here is Jerry Jones from his news conference, which just ended about 20 minutes ago.
Is one of the reasons for our fans to be excited about our future and his first year. And if there would be a definition of how you would like to come in your first time as being a head coach in the National Football League and have a nice learning experience, I think that you could say that he's experienced things that will, in my mind, make him better qualified to be the head coach in the coming years than he was when we hired him this time last year.
All right. So there you go. They're happy about Brian Schottenheimer, the way he's going. I mean, Schottenheimer, I thought maybe the best part for him in this news conference was basically talking about the ball and their lack of takeaways and their maybe in turning the ball over too much, but certainly their lack of takeaways and saying their turnover margin, basically calling it terrible and needing to change. And then in talking about what they need in a new defensive coordinator, they didn't get into anything specific from a scheme standpoint, but great communicator, great energy. You could hear in what he was saying was maybe some of the things that Eberflus was struggling in. Able to take simple concepts or complicated concepts, make it simpler, and realize that some guys are going to get it one way and you may have to restate it another way. And so communication was a huge part of it. Now, Kev, the one I just sent you, I think I did. You're going to love. This is Jerry when he was kind of talking about and I may have just sent you a duplicate, Kev. I can't keep up with what I've sent you, but the last two I sent you, Kev, let's get here fairly soon. And then we got that other one. You let me know when we have the other one where Jerry is saying his goal is to get to pass Bob Kraft for Super Bowls. I mean, we can say all these things all you want, and it's kind of ludicrous, but it's fine. This might have been his funniest quote of the day. He had a good Trump quote, Kev, that I just sent you, and so we'll have that. And it came in response to asking about how much is Shoddy going to have? How much say is he going to have in this defensive coordinator? And Jerry used a Trump quote, and so you got people, by the way, responding to this with how confused they are, and it's just strange, some of the stuff that's coming out. Now, I want to go over some of the other things, and I'll react to it. Some of the stuff that actually made some sense today, if you can believe it, from Jerry. I mean, we know the one thing's never going to change. He's not going to appoint somebody else to run the organization. He's not going to step down at GM. So while everybody loves to point that out, it's just not, it's not even worth discussing. He also said, he did not like, and Jerry, I think, was as fancies himself as a big special teams guy because maybe that's what he did at Arkansas, 60 years ago or whatever. 63 3 years ago, when they won a national title, by the way, the 1963 team. He fancies himself as, because I guess he was on special teams or something. It does not sound like there'll be a change at special teams coordinator, although they talked about some of the deficiencies that Nick Sorensen in his unit had. And they have not formally requested to interview any candidates as defensive coordinator. You're like, what are you waiting for? It's a fair question. Other people are out there getting interviews lined up and getting set up and asking for permission. Cowboys are putting their lists together. Also ask about the re-signing of running back Javonte Williams. He said it's at the top of their list of offseason priorities. Quote, we want to bring him back and sign him to a multiple-year deal. Also, breaking news out of this news conference today. The conversation has been had with Tyler Smith. Brian Schottenheimer talked to Tyler Smith about whether he's going to move to left tackle, whether he's going to remain at guard, which is where obviously the player knows and has said, hey, I'm really good at this. You feel me, dog? Something like that. Their goal is to have the best 5 offensive linemen on the field. He did tell Tyler that for now he sees him as a guard. But a move to left tackle could still be on the table. All right. That news came out today. Jerry talked about it. It's a group decision, just like when they hired Matt Eberflus. And that's that quote, Kevin, just let me know when it's ready. That is a funny one where Jerry brings up Donald Trump. Biggest reasons Jerry Jones is optimistic about the future. Brian Schottenheimer. Okay, we just heard him talking about that. He loved the hire. They feel good about it. They think Schotty had a good year. Let's remember during tragedy, the whole Marshawn Nealon thing, he did handle it well. I think he's, part of the reason they felt like Diggs was kind of undermining him. That's the reason he got tossed out the door a week early. They didn't have to do that. It was not to save some kind of huge financial savings or whatever. They could have waited. They said, get him out of here. All right. He's undermining Schotty's message. Move him on down the road. Same thing with Micah. Micah's making a nuisance of himself. He's a great pass rusher, but he's not the kind of leader we want. He's taking naps on the trainer's table during a game. This is not the message we want. Get him out of here. Now, at least for him, they got a nice return. I don't know if it was enough, but it was a pretty decent, solid return. It will lead to all the draft picks that are coming up, including the 2 in this first round, number 12 pick, and then the number wherever it ends up. It depends on what the Packers do against the Bears on Saturday. Is that game on? Which streaming service is that on? Is that Prime? I was watching Amazon Prime last night. Is that game on Prime that night? Amazon Prime
Packers,
on Saturday
Bears.
night? Yeah, Packers Bears. I think it might be because we got to get all these straight, because there's a Peacock game, There's a Monday Night Football game, it's on
Saturday.
Yeah, is it Amazon Prime? Anyway,
there is a Prime game. I'm not sure if that's
It might be. I was watching the end. I went back and rewatched last night on Amazon Prime the end of the John Le Carre.
You're correct.
Okay, good.
Guess what? It's another fact check.
Where I am correct. Okay, we really don't have to fact check when I actually get something right.
Hey, you know what?
I need you to correct me.
We can celebrate victories. That's fine.
I don't know. I don't act like they're that rare. I've been sort of on a roll, believe it or not.
There you go.
Although you got to listen closely to me, because like one of the things Steven Simcox, my old producer at ESPN Central Texas, one of his and he's got a lot of strengths, but one of his superhuman strengths is like when I would just talk, and he could anticipate when I would forget a name, just occasional. Now, like if it's a name from the 1979 Pirates, I'm not going to forget it. If it's a name from a current NFL roster, I will forget it. And he could anticipate them and then literally jump on and say it as I was talking.
That's awesome.
It was a superpower, and he remains a very close friend of mine. See, that's good.
You want to take a look at the Jerry Jones talking about his legacy as an owner?
Yeah. This is Jerry talking about what he thinks he can do in terms of winning Super Bowls and the legendary owner he thinks he's going to try to pass.
My goal in life is to retire as the owner that won the most Super Bowls. That's my goal. To be retired in the NFL as the owner that won the most Super Bowls. We've got 3. How many more do I have to go as a single owner? Bob's got how many? 6? So I've got
work to do.
Got work to do. I got work to do, but at least I'm up to the second rung in the ladder. But my goal is to have retired and won the most Super Bowl as an owner.
Jerry, I'll follow up on that. Would you ever actually retire?
Well, I will go down. No, I'm not going to say that. I'm not going to say.
He's a 10-toe high guy.
I'm not going to say that at all. But listen, I don't want to dare the gods. Okay, around here.
I don't want to dare the gods. So that was good follow up. To basically ask, hey, what does that mean? Is that Jeff Kolb from Fox 4? It might have been to say, does that mean you might retire someday? Every Cowboys fan and viewers out there, yes, maybe. Although it would be to our point earlier, Kevin, like he is very entertaining, and it would be less entertaining without him. Now, would Cowboys fans make that trade? Less entertainment to see someone else run the organization. And by the way, what if it's Steven? Would you make that trade today? I don't know that they would. I think people probably don't trust Steven either. I don't think they trust any of the Joneses, except maybe Charlotte, the daughter, very smart, and she's the smartest person in the family, other than Gene. I think his wife's very smart, the former beauty queen out of Arkansas. But
are we really asking the questions? Would we really rather have entertainment versus championships? Is that the question?
Oh, I didn't say no. I didn't say championships. I say
that's what he's talking about.
No. I'm saying let somebody else try it. That's as opposed to letting Jerry keep trying it. And I think 98% of Cowboys fans would take that trade. To let somebody else seek it out.
I'll refer you to my Colts, who still stand by Chris Ballard, and the reference that what is it that it's called when you do the same thing over and over again and expect a different result? Definition
of insanity. Yeah.
Yeah. Interesting.
Yeah. Well, that's you're stuck with him. Apparently, he when poor Irsay, when Mr. Irsay checked out, when Jim left us, he had made some kind of deal with the devil when it comes to Ballard. All right.
I don't know what blackmail Ballard has on the Irsays, but it's got to be something legendary.
He was there. Was Ballard there when they took Luck or not? Was that pre-Ballard?
That was pre-Ballard. Ballard was what?
Was Polian still there when they took Luck, Andrew Luck, in the draft?
No, it was Grigson. Ryan Grigson was the GM at that point.
Really?
Grigson
interesting.
Basically made Pat quit, and then Ballard made Luck quit, and here we are.
All right. These are other. And tell me, Kev, when you have that other one ready, because that was the one that's an interesting quote when they're basically talking about Schottenheimer and.
I'm ready. You ready?
Oh, good. Yes, I love it. Okay, this is Jerry when he was asked about whether or not how much say Schottenheimer would have in the hiring of this new defensive coordinator.
Get to hire his own coordinator.
Trump just said it. I'm running. Venezuela. Seriously. Shotty had everything to do with hiring Matt Eberflus last time, and that's not done as a negative. It had no way in the world he's here. if Shotte didn't want him here. Okay, let me be real clear about that. And he can tell you in his own words there, no way in the world if Stephen didn't want him here. But I particularly had a party when we got him.
I'm running. It took him a second to think of the country. I'm like Trump. I'm running Venezuela.
And I don't.
I'm sorry.
like,
you can't. If you don't find that entertaining, then I can't help you.
On the one hand,
help you, sir. Yes.
On the one hand,
Chris Ballard is not that funny.
He's saying, "Oh, Chris Ballard will crack up at himself. He's got a good cackle in him."
I want no more Ballard talk today.
No. So okay, on the one hand, Jerry's saying that yes, I run the show, but at the same time, he's throwing Brian Schottenheimer under the bus by saying that he was. So he's working both sides.
He's genius. At age 83, everybody thinks he's like lost it. And how would we ever know with him? He has not lost it. He sounded like this when I met him. And first time I met him was 2002 or 2003. He's the exact same guy. And in fact, the only thing is he gets a little more sentimental. And like today, there was a lot of T. Boone Pickens stories and like all these kind of contemporaries of his. T. Boone was older. We lost T. Boone a few years ago. And for people that don't know who T. Boone Pickens is, he was the huge benefactor for Oklahoma State sports. And apparently, I kind of forget this, T. Boone lost a bunch of money and went broke, according to Jerry, when he was 80. And then by 85, he was a billionaire again. So, and like Jerry said, they were fighting over the China. He said he went through a divorce and they were fighting over the China. I forgotten about that at age 80, that T. Boone Pickens. So T. Boone's no longer with us, but still with us in spirit, because Jerry's talking about my favorite T. Boone thing, Kevin, you'll like this, was when he came up with this idea. I think this is when he became a billionaire again. And he came up with a pretty good thing about Oklahoma State, like athletics, how he was going to help the endowment in Oklahoma State. He was going to do it with people signing up for these enormous life insurance policies. And so you basically could kind of bet your life on Oklahoma State or Oklahoma State athletics. You could, you just load it up and, I guess your premiums went up a little bit, whatever. But the life insurance, so you were able to then, hopefully your family would get some, but the university would get, so you could do your life insurance to leave for the university. And it was an interesting idea, but what undermined the idea is that all these people live too long. And they all were living as long as T. Boone. So these people were trying to leave millions to Oklahoma State, and they were living into their 90s, and it was screwing the whole thing up. So it was a decent idea, but people were doing too well. All right. I'll tell you what. Let's. What time is it? I can't. Okay. Let's take a break. Let's take care of our folks, because we've got lots to get to. We've got major portal news. College football, Baylor's doing some stuff. We got more Cowboys to get into. And then today and I want to get to it even sooner. Kevin's telling me 2:30. But anyway, I want to, because I just want to get to it, because I think our folks are going to be excited about it. At about 2:25 today, we'll go to, because we got to finish up at 55. We'll go to Scott Drew. We've already done this interview. The Bears play tonight. And Scott is very open about a lot of different things that I think you'll be excited to hear about. So you'll want to hang with us. That's Scott Drew talking about the offensive performance against TCU. James Najee, do they have his jersey fixed? I did not get the answer I wanted there. So, and we got a beautiful tease that's already out there. God, I love a short. I love a short more than anything. And so anyway, I think my man Kevin and Zach teamed up for that. I love that. And so that's floating around out there as we're teasing this interview. That'll happen around 2:30. But until then, stay with us, because we got more Cowboys. And then next, I'm going to get you caught up on the latest on all the portal news. We got huge national news, and then the Bears. I have talked to DJ Lagway's dad, He is in Waco today, the Lagways, and try to bring you the latest on that next.
When Central National Bank decided to partner with Baylor women's basketball, we were hoping Coach Collin would bring that championship mindset to do whatever she has to do to take our workplace culture to the next level.
Well, these donuts are pretty good.
Guys, how we doing?
We're good, Coach.
Craig! What are you doing?
What do you mean?
You have to dunk it.
So far, I think our employees are really enjoying it.
Not everything's a basketball thing.
Did you say something, Craig?
No, ma'am.
That's what I thought.
Dude, I think she likes you.
Central National Bank, proud partner of Baylor Athletics and Baylor Women's Basketball.
Experience the future of secure private cloud storage with Internix. Protect your files with end-to-end encryption, ensuring your data stays private and accessible only to you. That's INTERNXT.com today.
Welcome to Market XLS, your all-in-one Excel solution for investors. Designed as an enterprise-grade platform, Market XLS caters to investment managers, secure and efficient investment management and research. Book your free demo.
Experience with the Mosley MD hair regrowth kit was amazing. It was easy to use. It let me take off my hat. I could go in public and have my picture taken and feel normal again.
MosleyMD.com.
At 4U Health, we believe wellness and lab testing should be accessible, inclusive, and yes, fun. With our tech-powered at-home lab test, you save time and money while feeling your best. 4U Health. Visit 4uhealth.com today.
BadCreditLoans.com is a pioneering service provider that has carved a reputation in the financial industry. Simple, fast, and reliable loan application process. And its commitment to responsible borrowing makes it a trusted partner in the journey towards financial stability.
Unlock a world of convenience with Mully Box, your one-stop solution for personalized subscription boxes delivered right to your door. Each box is tailored to your taste. Mullybox.com. That's MULLYBOX.com. With a focus on performance, design, and customer service, we're here to help you work smarter, not harder. Join us on our journey to simplify your world. Visit acasis.com today. That's ACASIS.com today. Experience the perfect blend of exquisite craftsmanship and life-changing technology with Gevi. Every product is built with precision, featuring specialized parts that ensure durability, efficiency, and safety. Upgrade your everyday with Gevi. Visit us at gevi.com to discover more.
It's Mosley's show and lively day. In fact, my goodness, we got huge portal news. We've got the Cowboys coming off their news conference. We've had that. Scott Drew joins us around 2:30 today. And this one's in the can already because Scott, this is game day today. But all the information leading up to it, the game against Iowa State, what they need to do against Iowa State. It's a loaded team that Coach Otzelberger has. I don't know what the recipe is. I don't know why, Taman Lipsey and Jefferson and all these players stay around there for so long. I don't think Iowa State has like a way higher, like some kind of huge NIL budget more than Baylor. I think Baylor's just had a little bit of bad luck, and obviously they play the one and done game more than Iowa State. And so, when people complain about like Baylor right now, I say, well, you had Messi and Walter on the same team. They didn't think that was going to meet. They didn't think Messi was going to be one and done. He ended up being one and done. You had VJ Edgecombe. You had the great Rob Wright. Now he's playing for BYU. Watch this story, by the way, with and we could save some of this for Campus Confidential, but watch this story with the University of Washington quarterback, Damon Williams Jr., because it impacts you want me to hold off on that for now?
We'll get to it.
That's gonna be part of Campus Confidential. All right.
Get to it.
There was a
hang
Baylor component to that, so I wanted to make sure
I'm
that.
gonna pitch it. I'm a softball pitch it to you.
No, I don't. Yeah, you pitch it any way you want it. Okay, I'll hit it. I don't like fast pitch softball. That would scare me. The Baylor softball coach used to be part of the king in his court, and he traveled around, and he was so good at it that he could throw strikes from second base, fast pitch softball, and just hum it right in there.
I PA Baylor tennis, and some of the people associated with that were kind of taking bets and talking about how they think they could fare against these Baylor tennis players. And I said, the best way to hit a tennis ball back to these guys? I put the tennis racket down and I hid behind it. I said, that's your best bet, because you're not hitting that thing.
I don't know. I think I could get out there.
I heard about that yesterday.
All right, but Michael Woodson is a friend of mine, and I like the job Scrivano does as well. But Michael, the Baylor men's team has had some really good guys that are going out to play professional tennis now, and he does a nice job. So I'll come hang out at one of those things. I will not try to steal any of your PA shine from you, but I'll at least stand over there and watch. All right, let's do a little campus. That's fine. It is time. Campus Confidential is when we hit on several topics. We banter and some of the big stories out there in college athletics, and then I promise you, either during Campus Confidential or afterward, I'll hit on some of these players that Baylor are visiting Baylor right now, and I'll try to bring you up to date on what I think is happening with DJ Lagway, who is in town for the Bears. All right. Kev, what do we have? Who's your haul?
Well, guess what?
What do we have?
It is Baylor basketball game day. So what did you think about the Kansas TCU game last night into overtime? Did you see that?
Yeah. I went back because I was watching some other things, and the Mavericks were playing late last night. In fact, the game started at 10 o'clock on Peacock, and so I did go watch I was really honed into that game a little more than I was Kansas TCU. But I am very well aware, and I went back and watched some highlights, and it's unfortunate for TCU. You're on the road. Nobody ever wins at that place. Baylor's won either one or two games ever, like in the Scott Drew era, or even going back before that. I'm trying to think when they became part of the Big 12. But yeah, under Scott Drew, Baylor has won once that I can think of, maybe twice at Fog Allen. Teams don't do it. TCU had a great chance, and with 5 minutes left, Kev, as you well know, it was. And always, by the way, if you ever want to bring highlights of these games to Campus Confidential,
you ready?
That too. Oh, you have
74 seconds left in the game.
Is that when you're
TCU was up 9 points, 85-76.
Yeah, and what I was about to say is they were up, but hold on one second before you say this. With 5 minutes left, they were up 75-60.
Yep.
They were up 15 and had played a well of a game. And David Punch, who hurt the Bears the other day, especially from a rebounding standpoint, played a beautiful game, like 20 points, 9 rebounds. Kansas had no answers from him. But okay, continue. I like this. 9 points with 74 seconds left.
Yep.
Only in college basketball do we talk in terms of 74 seconds. No, we never do this in any other point of life. But go ahead. Yes.
Okay, so at that point, from that point on, in the remaining, what would it be? In the remaining 6 minutes, just over 6 minutes of the game, TCU only managed 15 total points, while Kansas scored 28.
Counting the overtime, you're saying?
That is correct.
Okay, yeah.
Now, Kansas, TCU tried to make a comeback several times in overtime, but just couldn't quite get over the hump that was created. And let's be honest, they had some terrible, terrible mistakes, including 3 missed free throws.
Yeah.
I always say the free throws are free until they don't cost you anything until you miss them.
Okay, Kevin, I really think you're onto something there. That was earth shattering there. That was a gut punch because they did so many things well, and they hit threes, and they played with great poise, and then the ghost of Naismith, the ghost of Fog Allen, heed who hath, whatever that saying is you have when you come in to Naismith, when you come into Fog Allen, I should say. And it's bad, and we've seen many meltdowns there, but it happened. Houston won a game like that against Kansas there last year, and Kansas came back to win this one. Huge. I think Darren Peterson had 32 points in 32 minutes.
Yeah, 32 points. Toward the end of regulation, he's sitting on the bench with wraps on his leg. He can't play defense worth anything. They put him in right at the end, and he gets fouled on a wild three-pointer and nails all 3 to send him into overtime.
Huge. You're right. 1.7 left, and he hits the 3. Another horrible decision by TCU.
And then TCU did another terrible thing. They tried to chuck it to try to get something, and it went all the way out of bounds. So Kansas had a last-ditch effort to end it in regulation.
I've seen Baylor. By the way, I've seen Baylor do the exact same thing and lose on that. By the way, tonight, and we'll talk to Scott Drew here in a little while. Let's go. You're going to love this one-on-one with Scott Drew. Only if you could have seen Kevin and Scott off air talking Indiana, sports and where they're from and all that too. But anyway, Baylor has to protect the ball, and they have got to be better on their defending inbound passes. That's been really, really bad this season. I mean, they have got to be better in on their assignments. And Coach Sanchez, who came from Virginia all those years with Tony Bennett as a top assistant, this is when you need a game like this. The defense has to show up. And I mean, your shooting's going to come and go, and hopefully they shoot a lot better at home, but you have got to play defense tonight. It's going to be a great game, and I cannot wait. We'll talk to Coach Drew coming up around 2:30 today. What else do you have for me in Campus Confidential?
All right, I got to throw some IU stuff at you. Mark Cuban came on board for 2026 portal for IU. Now, this is mysterious because I would have thought he would have been in there already, but probably the most notable wealthy graduate from IU has decided to enter into donating to the university.
Now, when they went 11-2, he did get involved, but I think he's come in at a far higher level here. This was front office sports. Kev always liked to credit whoever brings us these stories. And front office sports had emailed him. And by the way, he has 2 emails. I have both of them. He is great about responding to email. And even if you go to the one that anybody can get, Kevin, like today, if you just had a thought, you wanted to thank him as an Indiana fan, and you use that Mavs email, you would at some point hear back from him within 24 hours. That's one of the things. Now, some of the stuff he does is ridiculous, and he put the team in peril, and I think he contributed to Luka not being with the Mavericks anymore, okay? And he doesn't get enough blame for that. But he does some things that I think we could all learn from, and that's responding to him. And I'm not the greatest at that, but responding to things, responding to people. These are very important things in life. Now, I think I had heard, and I think you've heard the same thing, I've heard a big number. The great news for Indiana is that I don't think he'll contribute at the same level that the another billionaire. Now, what is Mark worth? $6 billion? Is that what we've seen now? I think I saw $6 billion.
That is a good
I don't
question.
know that he'll contribute. Well, I think I just saw that earlier, so you don't need to look it up. You don't need to fact check me on that.
You got it. Yep.
I think I don't think he's going to contribute quite to the level of Cody Campbell at Tech, but it's going to be plenty. It's going to be huge, and I think it's great news. And apparently he was at a suite at the Rose Bowl. He was in a suite with some of his buddies at the Rose Bowl. So, listen, that's what happens.
Probably didn't hurt to see that in person to open up the pocketbook.
Yeah, that's the thing. I mean, like, if Baylor suddenly got great at football, some people like, well, they don't have a Mark Cuban. Well, maybe not. They don't have a Cody Campbell. Maybe not. But they have a ton of extremely wealthy people. I mean, how do you think these things got built? Do you think the Fosters are out there, like, once they gave $100 million for that arena that they're broke now? No. I mean, the last time I checked, I think he's in the oil and gas. I mean, Baylor has a ton of people who are highly, highly successful. But like what happened in Indiana, these people like to see it heading in the right direction before they unload their money. Now, Miami's in this thing. Miami plays tomorrow night against Ole Miss. ESPN's listing that start at 6:30. I think it'll be more like 7. Miami has some people that did go dead broke, that are in the early NIL, where Miami people like to be flashy. They're into the looks, and they're into all the stuff that, see, they're great in NIL, but they also have people that are into like weirdness and maybe even some Ponzi schemes, right? There's some people that contributed to Miami that are now in prison. So anyway, all right, sir, what else do we have as we continue the headlines that make up Campus Confidential?
All right, this is the last one. Here's the softball pitch. Washington quarterback Damon Williams to the portal. I want to know if you think that there is any shot that Baylor could maybe sniff at that at all.
You know, in addition to the controversy over this, because if you get in business with Damon Williams, you have to also know that they're going to come after him with all their might. The attorneys are using this. They're going to use this as like a watershed type moment. So I think you have to at least acknowledge the controversy around this kid if you bring him in. And, you know, again, if he's good enough, they don't care.
Why so?
Well, because wherever he ends up, they're going to come after you huge for tampering. Gotcha. And there's already a belief that LSU's involved, which means Kiffin's involved. And so they're going to, I'm not saying that some team won't do it and they'll be excited to do it. By the way, I told you I spent some money on cheap headsets, and I've just realized if you spend like $20 on headsets, why they're so inexpensive, because they just like short out on you the second day you have them. They're horrible. I got to find a different level. I don't want to go to the $300 or $400 level, but I think I at least need to get to like the $100 level. Something that, and I may need you to help me. But anyway, I think that Damon Williams is not what Baylor's after, because this is a kid who signed a $4 million deal. Now, why in the world would you break a contract where you had a $4 million deal? Oh, I have the answer to that. That means another school has promised him somewhere in the $5 to $7 million range. So he's found some more money. Remember, Brendan Sorsby at Tech has kind of set the market. He was considered the best in the transfer market, in the portal. He is getting $5 million from Tech. Now, I'll tell you what I'll do. After we take a break, I'm going to tell you the latest on DJ Lagway, the great player from Florida. The great recruit. I don't know if he was a great player at Florida. I do know he and his dad have been watching this show, so they're monitoring whatever I'm saying. I was in touch with the dad earlier today. They are in Waco. Now, when I was talking about Lagway a few weeks ago, there were some Baylor people pushing back and like, don't put that on Spavital. Don't put so much pressure on Spavital to get this done. And I think the thought was, hey, Baylor needs a ton of players. They still do. And they really can't afford to spend half of the portal money on a quarterback. And that's about what it would take to get a guy like what's Baylor have in the portal? Probably 8 to 10 million, maybe. And I think to get a guy like Lagway, it's going to take around 3. So do you really want to spend $3 million of your portal? And I can hear you out there. Some of our listeners, some of our viewers are like, yes, I'm fine with that. Spend 3 on him and then spend the rest on everybody else. Just remember, you're going to need like 30 to 35 players in this portal. All right. So let's be careful about how you spend this. But right now, Baylor people are desperate for a win, and DJ Lagway being in town, a Baylor legacy. I know his dad, Derek Lagway. Well, I'll give you the latest on the Lagway family and what all's going on with that next.
If you want the best for your body, you want Ascension Providence, the largest sports and orthopedics group in Central Texas. Using innovative and cutting-edge technology, we're able to understand your body better than ever, delivering treatment with precision. And with our fellowship-trained and board-certified doctors, you'll receive excellent care. Work with a team dedicated to your health, wellness, and safety.
So you can perform.
At your best.
Ascension Providence, caring for Texas families for over 120 years.
It's the Restore Clarity Focus Patch, my little secret weapon for staying sharp, focused, and on task. Each box comes with simple instructions inside, so you always know exactly how to apply it. Each patch lasts for 3 days. I love that I can wear it all day.
But boy, it looked effortless.
Man, watch this.
Layups, floaters, threes. He was like an unsolvable equation.
I was born like this.
His resilience, his strength, his belief, adversity never stood a chance.
Know your power.
All right, it is Matt Mosley, and I want to, I'll tell you what, fire up a few more of those, Kevin. I want to revisit some of those Cowboys clips, and we've had more coming in. In fact, I wanted to finish talking about the biggest reasons Jerry Jones says, this is not like some old Letterman list, by the way, the 10 biggest reasons Jerry Jones will not win another Super Bowl. No, this is the biggest reasons he's optimistic. We got a ton of people on Twitter wanting to see our reaction to Cowboys. We appreciate you guys being with us today. We'll talk. I'm going to talk a lot of Cowboys here, and then we got Scott Drew coming up at about 2:30, and that'll take us into tonight's Iowa State Baylor game. That's at the Foster at the 7 o'clock tip-off. That's on Peacock. And I am really betwixt and between because, like, I really want to be there, but I always kind of enjoy seeing how one of these streaming sites handles a college basketball game. I understand. I think King McClure, I mean, he's everywhere. He was with Rogue. I thought he was with ESPN. I think he's doing the game for Peacock. The man just works for everybody. He and Pete Souza have it. I mean, I'm not saying this to joke. I mean, I'm not getting out the sharp stick. I'm saying I'd like to be able to figure out how to do more of this myself. They have this ability to be able to work for everybody. And I love it. I give them great credit for it. And I mean, heck, I'll add some gigs. Although, I kind of like this one, so I'm going to focus right here at Rogue Media Network. Kev, did you see that? I just turned on the light. I just turned on some more lighting here.
Let there be light, my friend.
I know. This is my little. Oh wait, where'd it go?
There you go.
I was trying to get it up a little bit. Hold on. I was trying to.
what
about that blue? Do you like the blue light or you like the?
I always go warm. So
is that warm? That's warm, isn't it? Is it pretty warm?
I'll do it too at the same time. We'll just see. Mine is
that's too much.
Bright.
Yours is too much.
Yeah.
All right. I went kind of a warm, not
it.
bright. Okay, but anyway, enough that I still need the shades. It's so bright. So we'll talk some Cowboys. But I do want to pay off the tease, as we used to say in radio. I have been in touch with DJ Lagway's father. He was visiting Baylor today, and I'm going to just look and make sure that we don't have anything out there new before I kind of share with you what I got the praying emoji from his dad earlier because he's visiting, and I know he knows Baylor people are excited. Derek Lagway, they're from Willis, Texas, and that's where DJ became a 5-star. Oh, by the way, just in the past 30 minutes, Baylor has signed a Montana linebacker, Caleb Otlewski. That's Otlewski. He's on his official visit to Baylor. 6'4", 241-pound prospect, 78 tackles, 9.5 for loss, 2 sacks, and 2 interceptions on his way to earning all Big Sky honors. That game, I guess it's the FCS championship, was on the other night. Was that Montana or Montana State that was in that game? Anyway, he plays in that.
Montana State.
Okay, this is Montana proper. He plays in that Big Sky. And I'm fine with Baylor going after these guys. The other news earlier today was Arkansas linebacker J.J. Shelton signing with Baylor, 6'1", 202-pound prospect. He was a priority in the 2025 recruiting class. And then when he went in the portal from Arkansas, they got him this time. That's why you got to be nice to these kids, even when you don't get them in the class, because you might get them on the next now. You don't want to like rip on the kids or whatever. Although the wife of the Washington coach, whoa, this DeMond Williams Jr. story we had, she put it out there on Instagram. She was disgusted with this young man. I guess they were at a funeral of a player at Washington. A lot of the teammates, when some of this news went out, and again, I don't think the kid was meaning for all this news to get out during a funeral. Let's give him some grace. Okay, but boy, she was disgusted. And she ripped into him I think she went on the Instagram, responded on like the Barstool Instagram. What a weird place to sound off if you're a coach's wife, but that's whatever, to each their own. Also, Marshall defensive lineman Jamal Weiss is signed with Baylor. Now, I just wanted to, also the Colorado wide receiver Draylon Miller is on his official visit today. The Colorado player has had 579 yards of total offense and 5 touchdowns in 2 seasons with the Buffs. It's not great, but the truth is Dallas Baker, the Baylor's wide receivers coach, is really good at this. He seems to, when they get people from Texas State or wherever, Alabama in one case, they generally come in and can play and can produce. And so He's the
And if we're talking 2 years at Colorado, you got to imagine his first year he wasn't getting a whole lot with Travis Hunter and all those guys over there.
Fair point. And they had that other great guy, Omarion, who is in the portal right now. So that's a good point, Kev. Now, let me get back to DJ, what I think's happening here. I still think Lagway is, and I looked from Zenit's earlier today, and I wanted to get the latest on who else is after him. Baylor has a bit of an advantage here because, and again, it's going to come down to the mighty dollar. It always does. And it really comes down to Baylor whiffed on a quarterback a few years ago, DeQuan Finn, a couple of years ago. It was horrible. Sawyer Robertson bailed them out, and he had a really nice 2 years with the Bears. DJ Lagway represents something Baylor doesn't have right now. They KT Thomas and Bryson Washington, any star type player that Baylor has left the building. That doesn't mean they can't bring guys in and freshmen, and some of these transfers can't be good. But right now, any of their so-called star players have left the building. I will tell you that DJ Lagway represents a star potential. He's a huge name, and he is, obviously highly thought of, like even by Florida. I think they wanted to keep him, and for whatever reason, they had a conversation and they decided not to keep him. He represents everything, you want a quarterback to look like. He's 6'3", 6'4". He's gonna trim down, by the way. He looked to me this year like he was playing at like 235, 230 or 245. His dad told me recently he was going to slim down to about 215. And so that would certainly help with him being able to hurt teams in the run game. I mean, that was a problem with Sawyer this year. As great as Sawyer is, Sawyer did not run. And we don't know exactly why, because he has some good speed and he's a pretty mobile quarterback, but he did not run. He did not hurt teams in the run. And so that was a bit of an issue. I think DJ Lagway right now, I would put it as Baylor's chances, because as they set the number, LSU and Ole Miss is hoping to get Chambliss back. LSU, like all these, Florida, all these teams, the top of the market's going to be in the 5 to 6 million range. Is Virginia going to pay that? I don't think so. Is Baylor going to pay that for DJ Lagway? I don't think so. And I don't think it would be responsible to do. Would Baylor pay $2.5 or $3 million for DJ Lagway? Maybe. I mean, this is the deal. When you have a coaching staff that is trying to save their jobs, they're going to throw some haymakers. And trying to get DJ Lagway is a haymaker. All right. I mean, even at Florida, at Auburn, they already have Byron Brown, and that's huge money. I think his deal, Kevin, correct me if I'm wrong, since you've been, really wanting to do that today. I think that player at Auburn got like a 2-year, $7.5 million deal. Byron Brown, who's coming from South Florida to Auburn with Golish, trying to keep all my American Athletic Conference guys straight. So again, the big story today, Lagway's in town. I will stay in touch with the dad. And in fact, I tell you what I'll try to do. I really wanted to let them have their visit today. I'm going to check in with the dad after my show, see how it went with DJ Lagway. And then I may even try to get Derek Lagway, the dad. Well, maybe I should get DJ on. But he's taking his visits. They got 2 more visits set up after Baylor. I was just looking to see who it was because I looked at this yesterday. But I'll try to get the dad on at least tomorrow, and we'll talk. I have
no official numbers, so there's nothing to prove you wrong.
Oh, okay. You're talking about on the Byron Brown.
Yeah. Here's my question. As it relates to DJ Lagway, would you and the coaching staff and some of the big, picture stuff, would you consider Lagway an improvement upon Sawyer Robertson from last year?
That's tough. I think I don't know that they did right by Sawyer. He didn't run. The run wasn't and the problem, and DJ's going to have to factor this in. They're going to have to put this offensive line back together. They lost their center. I think they only have 2 returning guys with some experience, and they're going to have a whole rebuilt offensive line, and that's going to factor into DJ's decision. Now, that's not to say money can't make up for that. DJ's a guy that's only played 2 years at Florida, so you could do a 2-year, $7.5 million deal with him. The problem with Baylor doing a deal like that is Doug McNamee, who will be on with us next week, the Baylor's new athletic director. They all know this staff is in such lame duck status. It's just hanging in the balance. That's why it's hard to put together a team right now. And that's why, so many guys have left. They know that Baylor right now is just kind of waiting, and it really feels like they don't know what the way forward is. And if not for a scandal, Dave Aranda would have probably been fired at Baylor. And the Mack Rhodes situation saved him. I mean, even the president would tell you that. She may not say that out publicly, but she knows. And so, talking about President Livingstone, there's a lot of factors to this. Would he do a 1-year deal with Baylor? Because if they're going to get DJ Lagway, they really need to do a 1-year deal. One of these other teams, like Virginia or whoever else he's talking to, might do a similar deal to Byron Brown. They might do a 2-year, $8 million type deal, or 2 years, $7.5 million, 2 years, $7 million, and he might take that. I do not think that's wise for Baylor to do that deal. I may be wrong. Maybe a lot of people disagree with me on that, but you don't know if this staff's going to be back. If Spavital, if Aranda, can you be out there doing 2-year deals? Because then you have, now again, these contracts, we're going to find out pretty quickly how much they're worth. Like, what if he decides he wants to leave because you get a new coaching staff? Is he free to go even though he signed a deal for 2 years, $7.5 million? That's where it gets a little dicey. And that's why I think the better thing for him and Baylor is a 1-year, $2 or $3 million deal. If he'll do it, he may be able to get more somewhere else. And if he can, more power to him. Would I pay DJ Lagway $5 million for next season? The answer is absolutely no. All right. Even though I love DJ Lagway. I love his dad. His dad's a friend of mine. And he's a guy I stay in touch with. I'll talk to the dad tonight or this afternoon to see how the visit went. And then either I'll try to get him on tomorrow, or I'll be able to present some more news to you on that front. All right, I want to remind you, we'll be taking a break at about 2:25 because we got to start with we got Scott Drew. We got the great Scott Drew at 2:30, man. Kevin will tell me exactly when to take the break. I don't want to put Kev in a bad situation here. So, Kev, if you want me to take the break right at 2:30, I'll do it, or I can take it at 2:25. But we will have Scott Drew, and I mean, this is 25 minutes on Najee. I mean, this has been a national story, and instead of just getting back into all that, why'd you do it, how'd you do it, all that, it's more about what has this kid brought, what has surprised you about James Najee, and we get to hear some cool stuff about like what this kid, like what it's been like since he's been there, and then the ramp-up period. You know, what they've been able to do, how they've been able to bring up to speed. What's he going to do tonight? Can he play more minutes against Iowa State? So that is, and it's number 3, Iowa State. This is I'm not going to call anything this early in conference a must-win, but dang. I mean, Baylor has Iowa State and then Houston rolling in. You have got to get this thing done. And you have got to get one of these games, one of these wins.
You got to stay till the very end of the interview to see exactly what Scott Drew and your thoughts are, not just on this game, but ahead in the future.
Not just on this game, but
there's a little bit of There's a little bit of spiciness at the end that you got to stay for.
I like that. I'm sitting here thinking about that yesterday's interview. I like that. Some spice at the end as Mosley and Drew go one-on-one. Now let me get back into though, because we got a lot of people joining us on Twitter. I want to talk some Cowboys. All right, and this is before we take our break. And I'll consult with Kevin. Send me a text of exactly when you want me to break.
I'll send you a text. We'll talk about it right. 2:25 is great. Let's do it.
Okay. Love it.
Right.
Love it.
We got 10 minutes of Cowboys talk right now.
All right. Jerry Jones. I tell you what we'll do. Why don't you this is what a lot of people are talking about this afternoon. And it's Jerry Jones talking about life goals. What does an 83-year-old man dream of? When you've been 30 years since going to an NFC title game, all right, it's officially 30 years since they've done it. What is your goal? Well, your goal should just be, can we just get to an NFC title game once before I die? Not before I die, before Jerry. Hopefully I stay around longer than Jerry because I'm 32 years younger than Jerry. Jerry is 83, all right? And we need to hear from Jerry on a couple of different fronts. But, Kev, this is Jerry talking about wanting to chase down one of the great owners in NFL history, and that is Bob Kraft. And I know, hey, is it more about Brady? Is it more about Belichick? These will be the things till the end of time. The one thing we know is they did get lucky and draft Tom Brady in the 6th round, and he became one of the greatest draft picks in the history, if not the greatest draft pick in the history of the NFL. And Belichick, for all the nonsense he's been a part of at UNC, is maybe the greatest NFL coach of all time. What does Jerry think, and what does Jerry see in his future? What are his goals over the rest of his career and life?
My goal in life is to retire as the owner that won the most Super Bowls. That's my goal. To be retired in the NFL as the owner that won the most Super Bowls. We've got 3. How many more do I have to go as a single owner? Bob's got how many? 6? So I've got
work to do.
Got work to do. I got work to do, but at least I'm up to the 2nd rung in the ladder. But my goal is to have retired and won the most Super Bowl as an owner.
Jerry, I'll follow up on that. Would you ever actually retire?
Well, I will go down. No, I'm not going to say that. I'm not going to say.
He's a 10-toe high guy.
I'm not going to say that at all. But listen, I don't want to dare the gods. Okay, around here.
I mean, it's entertaining. It's maddening, I think, for fans. It is ridiculous. Even the suggestion of I want to retire. Like, I think Jerry doesn't. The thing he doesn't understand. He in some areas he's good at reading the room, especially like when it's full of like oil and gas people. But he's not good at reading the room when it comes to talking to Cowboys fans, because they're so fed up that when you talk with hyperbole and you talk about a future of winning 4 more Super Bowls, when you have 3 and all 3, most Cowboys fans, and even knowledgeable Cowboys fans, I should add, give Jimmy most of the credit for those 3 Super Bowls. So it seems preposterous for a man at age 83 to suggest that he's going to win 4 more before he retires. All right. So let's say Jerry is still doing it and still doing all the post-game interviews, and he's doing it till he's 95. And I think that is possible. I mean, I've been around the guy a long time. I honestly see him doing this into his 90s. If they were to win by the time he's 95 years old, 4 more Super Bowls, it would have been a Patriots-like dynasty. It would be a Cowboys-like dynasty of the 90s. All right, that's what it would take. It would be whatever we call what the Chiefs have done with Mahomes. All right, we have the Chiefs dynasty. We have the Patriots dynasty. We have the Cowboys dynasty. We have the Steelers dynasty of the 80s. These are the great dynasties of the NFL. This is how it works. These are the rules. And there's nobody that thinks the Cowboys are about to do it because, by the way, I don't think Dak can be around long enough to win those 4, right? I mean, you'd have to start over at quarterback. Dak is now next year going to be, he had a great year, but he's going to be 33. And you go, well, Matt, what about Aaron Rodgers playing until he's 42? Okay, really? Is that what we think? We think Dak's going to do this another 10 years? Maybe so. Maybe so. It's hard for me to fathom because most of the greats don't do that. Even Peyton Manning, and he got those couple, late in his career, he still finally walked away at age 37 or 38. All right? I mean, the Brady and now the Aaron Rodgers are aberrations. All right? They are the exceptions to the rule. The only ones who win Super Bowls late in their career, yes, Peyton did it. Yes, John Elway did it. All right? Yes, Tom Brady did it. I'm about run out of names because
the first one all day, Peyton Manning was 39.
Okay, but I mean, I was in the late 30s.
Yeah.
But yes, okay, his last one. All right,
Yep.
Good. First mistake I've made. He was, what did I say, 37 or 38? Anyway, I was in the range.
Yeah.
39, I would say, since you're a Colts guy, I understand. You certainly would know Peyton Manning's record in time. And, of course, they had to move on from him. And then, of course, the Broncos benefited from that, although one of those Super Bowls, that was a pure defensive Super Bowl, but he was the quarterback and he deserves a lot of the credit, just like Dilfer gets some of the credit for the unbelievable Ravens defense of the 2000 Super Bowl with Brian Billick, right around there, the 2000 or 2001 Baltimore Ravens.
Mm-hmm.
So Cowboys wise, and again, we've got Scott Drew coming up major, and then I got to do some more. If you want to hear more of my take on the Cowboys, Werder and I are going to react to all the stuff Jerry and Steven and Shoddy had to say today and some of Jerry's preposterous things. Okay, let's do the one real quick, Kev, on when it was asked whether, if
Trump won?
Yeah, the Trump one and what led to this was, are you going to let Shoddy have a big say in the defensive coordinator, the hire of the defensive coordinator?
We get to hire his own coordinator.
Trump just said it. I'm running. Venezuela. Seriously. Shoddy had everything to do with hiring Matt Eberflus last time, and that's not done as a negative. But had no way in the world he's here if Shoddy didn't want him here. Okay, let me be real clear about that. And he can tell you in his own words there, no way in the world if Steven didn't want him here. But I particularly had a party when we got him.
Now, that is revisionist history, all right? Because the Eberflus thing was well underway. He'd been fired by the Bears. Steven and Jerry love the thought of it, and they had success with Dan Quinn as a fired head coach from Atlanta, stepping in, doing well, and they thought Eberflus, they had a history with Eberflus, and they knew him way better than Shoddy knew him. So Shoddy got on board probably because, do you think Shoddy was about to become the head coach of the Cowboys? You think he was going to say, well, I don't know. If you're going to bring in Eberflus, I don't think I want this job. No. So again, this is Jerry with a little revisionist history. And then at one point he's trying to make the point that Shoddy was fully part of that decision. I do not believe that is the case. That doesn't mean Shoddy wasn't fine with it and that Shoddy tried to embrace Eberflus. But Jerry and Steven were driving the Eberflus train because Eberflus had history with the Cowboys. And he was here with Marinelli and under Monty Kiffin and all of that. And he was already calling the plays back then. And then he goes to Indy, and they had a great opinion of Matt Eberflus, all right? It was a family deal, just like it was with Zimmer. Do you think that was all McCarthy? McCarthy just said, man, this guy was hard to play against for the Vikings, and I can't wait to bring him in here and be my defensive coordinator. No, it was Jerry saying, this is old-time stuff. This is old-time sentimental stuff and fun to be around my man Zim. We'll bring Zim back. And that's why Schottenheimer, I hope he actually does have some say in this and really does get to bring somebody. Now, they're not sharing. If they think they know a scheme that they want or they think they know the way they want to run a defense, they're not sharing it because it's all about all this other stuff. Communication, making things simpler, knowing how to understand, being great in meetings, being great in a room, being all there. This is all the talk of what they need this defensive coordinator to be. Okay. And they're also talking about the dogs in this room, Quinnen and Kenny Clark, who came over, and Osa Digizua, all those guys. These are dogs. That's what they like to say. All right. Kind of like the Georgia Bulldogs. God, I can't believe we've got CFP game tomorrow night. How fun is this? This is awesome that we get to do all this. All right, here's the deal. We sat down with Scott Drew yesterday for longer than Baylor, but I found out, Kev, afterwards, Baylor was, of course, trying, and you were too, trying to say, hey, man, Scott's got another appointment. But I, of course, was oblivious, and Scott and I continued our interview, and we had a wonderful sit down yesterday for 25 minutes and talked about a number of things. And as Kev said, things got very interesting at the end. There's some James Najee talk. I think you'll find interesting what Scott has found out about James Najee. And then I tried to press in on what was going on with that offense the other day. Why could you not get into the offense? How was the defense? What is the do you have any player on this roster that could do a double block like VJ Edgecombe did the other night for the Sixers? We had a lot to discuss. After this break, and by the way, thank you, C&B. Thank you, Central National Bank. And thank you, Brazos Landing. Oh, the Landing. Thank you for your unbelievable partnership, the fun we have with the Lindsay family. Over the years, they've been huge fans of Baylor. And, of course, they'll be over tonight at the Foster. Go by tonight. And thank you, Cherry Johnson, Siegmund James, the great law firm that you are, Alan Samuels. And, by the way, tomorrow, this new group that we've had come over. We've got more to share tomorrow about that. And so this a really, really cool opportunity that we've had. But next, without further ado, the head basketball coach of Baylor University, Scott Drew, joins the show.
Ready for a better kind of primary care?
At Patient First Direct Primary Care, you get unlimited office visits with same-day or next-day availability.
And instead of rushed appointments, we take the time to actually listen.
There are no insurance hassles, just clear, simple care.
You can reach us by phone or text because access shouldn't be complicated. Our practice has expanded to include Medicare-age patients as part of our direct primary care model.
It's a fresh alternative to the traditional insurance or government-driven systems, care that finally puts you first.
For more information, go to patientfirstdirect.com.
It's time to start something new at Alan Samuels. Drive in with huge savings on all of our Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram vehicles. From a trail-conquering Jeep Grand Cherokee, towing in style with a Ram Heavy Duty, or cruising the city in a sporty and luxurious Ram 1500, we've got the perfect ride for you. Stop by Alan Samuels in Waco, where we make car buying easy.
Come by. Let's be friends.
Protect your online privacy with NordVPN. Browse securely, access content from anywhere, and keep your data safe with military-grade encryption. NordVPN.com. That's NordVPN.com. Welcome to Kitbag, the ultimate destination for football fans. Whether you're cheering for Arsenal, Chelsea, Manchester United, or any other top club, for true football passion, think Kitbag. Visit kitbag.com today. That's KITBAG.com. Kitbag.
Our patented handles were launched in 2018. We continue to push the boundaries of strength training. Join us in making your training more natural and effective. Visit Engels90.com to learn more and revolutionize your workout.
We offer fast shipping, exceptional customer support, and furniture solutions that stand up to high traffic environment. Elevate your space with BizChair's vast selection of stylish, reliable, and cost-effective furniture. Visit us today at bizchair.com to transform your business.
Circulon C1 Series Clad with Scratch Defense Non-Stick. Maximize cooking, minimize cleaning. Discover the unmatched durability and elegance scratch-free, worry-free, forever.
At Tusain's, we understand that maintaining a healthy lifestyle can be challenging, especially in today's fast-paced world. That's why our mission is to make fitness accessible to everyone, anywhere. Visit Tusains.com today and start your journey to better health. That's TOUSAINS.com.
Farmhounds offers natural treats and chews made with quality products that support family farm, regenerative agriculture, and humane farming practices. Give your dog the best with wholesome, organic ingredients that promote health and happiness. Shop now at farmhounds.com.
It is the Matt Mosley Show, and with Scott Drew joining us now. Scott, still, even as we get ready for tonight's game, this is cool, Scott. Like, as people are watching this right now, you're getting ready to play Iowa State, the number 3 team in the country. Should be a packed gymnasium tonight. I noticed you're having a little coffee. You're still how many on game day do you go extra cups of coffee? What do you do to do you
actually that's raw on game day? so usually just one in the morning, one in the afternoon.
Oh man, I need to do that. I kind of have it throughout the day, and I need to kind of cut back on that a little bit.
Hey, mostly there's enough studies you can find. It's great for you.
I know.
6 to 8 cups. You look hard enough, you'll find the answer you need.
You think people have Googled like what wine does for their heart? I heard that one. Wine really helps the heart. I'm thinking, I don't think it probably helps that much. But you can.
Well, the Italians definitely think so in Tuscany and those wine countries. And
they live longer and they drink more, but they also walk everywhere. Have you noticed that? They don't. Yeah, they
leave that out of the study.
And I think olive oil is probably good as well. Well, I haven't gotten to talk to you, and so you're probably have talked more than you ever thought you would on this James Najee. We knew you were going to make a mid-season pickup. You had been alluding to this for a while. We just didn't know it was going to be this huge of a story. And you've gotten all kinds of feedback. It's been interesting. I have to ask, James now has been around for a couple of weeks. He's now got a couple of practices. I actually thought he impacted the game. And for a guy that, like you said, had been out of play for 6 months and really probably didn't have his basketball conditioning up to speed, I thought he did impact the game and helped you the other day. You always knew, no matter who you brought in, there would be a ramp-up time. Tell me, over these last couple of weeks since he's been in town, what has surprised you about him? Is there anything about him that, hey, he's better than I thought? Or what has grabbed your attention the most about James? And is he showing you signs in practice to even think that, hey, we can continue to ramp him up even more than what you saw against TCU, where he gave you 16 minutes the other day?
Well, first and foremost, that's a great question, and appreciate you asking it, because when he came over, I really didn't know what to expect from the standpoint. Last time he had played was 7 months ago. He was recovering from injury. The 7'7" wingspan is still real. 7 foot 250 is real. But just how long would it take him to get acclimated? And, coaches, part of coaching that's so fun is bringing teams together. And this is something we've never done. I had someone at the semester that hadn't been around to then join in and play. What surprised me was just how excited he was about being in college in the U.S., how it impacted him with his mom's excitement for him to have a chance to get a degree. He's a great young man, played piano in the church, sister sang in the church, brother played drums in the church, mom worked with the ministry team, another brother, mechanical engineer, another or sister wants to get a master's degree. I mean, value and want education, appreciate the opportunity to be in college, and just the excitement of it all. That kind of took me back, to be honest, from the standpoint, you would think someone coming in, normally what college coaches hear is, I want to get to the NBA as quick as I can. All I heard was, I want to get a degree. Now he wants to get to the NBA, but
Yeah.
that was awesome. And his excitement to be here was awesome. As far as, I know we say weeks, but I think his first practice was the 30th or 31st. So he's only had a week or so of practice, probably 4 or 5 practices. And the easiest thing I can equate it to is, I know you used to bike a lot. If you biked 100 miles, how long would it take you to prep to get ready for 100 miles? And if you turned around and tried to do 50 the first day, probably too sore to do much the next couple days. If you do 1 mile, you're trying to get to 100. That's probably not enough. So we're trying to thread that fine line of teaching him an offense, teaching him a defense, getting him in shape and getting him ready to play. Because most people, when they come in semester, they just redshirt and spend that time adjusting, adapting. We didn't have that a luxury from the standpoint, being down to 7 players. We wanted to bring someone in who could play right away. Obviously, the upside when he gets caught up and acclimated is very high. At the same time, the process is doubly hard for him, coming off of 7 months of rehab and not playing 5-on-5.
Yeah. Have you asked him whether he prefers the old school hymns, the hymnal, or like praise and worship like they do out at Woodway and other places, Harris Creek? Which way do you think he leans on his piano playing?
Well, all I know is he's got to be really good, because they had church 4 or 5 times a week, he said.
That's a little much.
He had to go there to pray for you, Mosley.
that would take time. And your cycling analogy, you know how that ended for me. So it brought me back to tennis is how well it went. Yeah. What from the other day, I know you took some positives, certainly some negatives. I know I've been around you long enough to know that, you did not like how well TCU did on the offensive boards.
Yeah.
And I know the drills you use. How much did you, obviously this, you don't want to panic this early it's one game in the conference season, but at the same time, you don't want any trend. You got to get their attention on a defensive rebounding. What, since that game, what have you done to kind of get their attention on that end of things?
I think sometimes, and I think parents all know this, you can tell your child, don't put your hand on the stove, it's hot. But if they put it on the stove one time and they feel that pain, hopefully that teaches them. And my point to that being, our defensive rebounding hadn't been great all year. And the best way to improve it is sometimes the painful memories of not executing or doing what's needed. What I got to remind myself sometimes, and Mosley, you're a great sports guy. You understand this. 0 guys on our team have played in a Big 12 game. 0 guys have played in a road game. 0 played in a Big 12 rivalry road game. And we all know in the Big 12, coaching is elite. Players are outstanding. Atmospheres are tough to compete in. And then you add a player and say, hey, by the way, let's see what you got. He did a great job. He was the only one that had a plus minus that was a plus on our team. But at the same time, I know the challenges we have right now. the good news is losses teach you more in a quicker fashion than wins do. Hate losing. If you ever enjoy it, you got to get out of the sport or any sport. But at the same time, I know we improve from that. How long it takes to get over the hump and start winning Big 12 games. We've only played one. We will see. And we got a great opportunity this week. That's what you love about the Big 12. There's no bad losses. There's just good win opportunities.
Yeah. Well, that's interesting that you put it that way, because you're kind of like me. I mean, they all feel bad, but you're right. At the end of the year, when you're weighing them, you have a chance in this conference to have so many great matchups that it can put you back where you need to be. By the way, do we get the jersey all figured out? I was for Najee. We have him a nice the correct spelling and the new jersey. Is that all we've seen about?
We're still working with Nike on that. I appreciated the one you sent that said Mosley. He said it was a little small on him, so he's not going to use it. But yeah.
Yeah, that's right. That would be, although the Mosley jersey is pretty large these days. Okay, we just came through the holidays, so I need a little room to roam.
Yours isn't the only one.
Okay, I had a little rough go, and I escaped to the slopes for a few days. You know, I do that from time to time. Okay, your offense has been so good for so long. And we do give the other team credit, but you know, I even the guys from TNT were commenting on the other day. You guys weren't getting into your offense as quick as you needed to, and part of that was TCU. Now you look at that tape and you go, okay, what can we do better to get into the offense and get things moving? What did you see from your offense? Because a lot of times you'll go, hey, we got good shots, but we just didn't make them. In this game, they kind of took you out of some things. I'm not saying you didn't get some good shots, but they certainly dictated some of things, and so you'll have to now respond to that. What was your takeaway on how to get that offense clicking like it needs to be?
Well, if we had good looks, then you'd feel better. TCU, like you said, deserves a lot of credit because they took us out of a lot of stuff, and we didn't execute like we needed to. At the same time, there were a lot of things that we could have controlled that we didn't. And I think we played like we were a step slow and a step behind the whole game. And again, always credit the opponent on forcing some of that. But hopefully, as a coach, you just want to control what you can control. And you want your guys you want to hold them accountable to those things. At the end of the day, shot goes up. If you get a good shot, you can't guarantee it's going in or not. But what can you guarantee? And I think the effort and the execution, the mental mistakes was way higher than we have to be successful. So hopefully we learn from that. We'll find out. Again, TCU's defense, top 15 in the country. They held Michigan to 13 points with 7 minutes to go in the first half. It was a one-possession game. They had a chance to take the lead in the last minute or so. My point is TCU's a really good team. They deserve a lot of credit. They made us look bad. We didn't rise to the occasion and do some of the things we needed to do. We'll be better from it. And the good thing is each and every night in the Big 12, and what I meant by no bad losses is you're at the end of the day, committee looks at it, and sometimes you play in a conference where you lose one game, basically that takes you out of contention for an automatic at-large bid. And in our league, that's not the case. So a lot of opportunities for good wins.
What did you see from your high ball screen offense? And I got to say, Najee certainly was rolling. I mean, he knew there's some things that innately, and I'm sure y'all worked with him quickly. There were some looks to him that we've seen from some of your bigs over the years. And I got to say, Caden Powell, we don't want him to get lost in the shuffle here. he does some good interior passing. Like there's some really nice things that he can do. And if you can get him going, it goes from a weakness to a strength. But I guess I'm wondering is you're not getting the paint touches you need right now. Part of that is your point guard play. It's not quite where it needs to be. You have talented wings. Is there a way maybe to get those guys, set them up a little better and let those guys kind of initiate the offense maybe from the wing to a certain extent?
Yeah, I think the biggest issue for us is we didn't get any transition points. I believe we had 6 live ball turnovers and scored 1 time, and might be off 1 or 2 because we're on Iowa State. But my point is, those easies keep you going. It's kind of like a road trip. Stopping at Buc-ee's, filling up, getting some snacks, that gets you the whole way there. We never had a chance to fill up. We never got any easy buckets. We never got any momentum. And that leaves you everything in the half court, and our half court execution wasn't as good as it needed to be. As far as a lot of our offense is initiated through the wings and the forwards. In fact, every time there's a high ball screen, they put 2 on the ball, usually the big's in charge. Again, we went in the game the 5th best offense in the country. We didn't leave the 5th best offense in the country. So we got to get better. We got to improve. A lot of that is adjusting to Big 12 play, night in, night out. It's like moving up a weight class in boxing. It sometimes just takes a bigger, stronger, faster. You adapt to it, but you got to go through it.
Do you think you could get one of your players to do like one of those double blocks like VJ did to kind of get the crowd going early in the game? I mean, you don't see that too often, do you? You block it at one point and then you block it again.
Yeah. That's why you see it in the NBA. We are really blessed though with some great athletes this year. Cam, Tunde, Dan, Isaac. I mean, Obi can throw down. We got some dunkers, man. We got to get out in transition. We got to get stops. We got to get easies to showcase some of that.
Was that I was just trying to remember on the national title team. I mean, obviously they played like crazy level of defense, but did y'all score a ton in transition? Like I'm just trying to think about Davion and Jared and everybody. Of course, we compare everything to your greatest team ever, but over the years, I'm just wondering, like, what were your best transition teams?
Probably the teams that won the most, because usually what happens to get in transition, normally you have to get stops or you have to cause turnovers. And if you can get stops, you cause turnovers, normally transition is your easiest way to score. It all kind of works together. And the more transition buckets, because it's very hard to score in transition after a made basket, because coaches do a pretty good job making sure defenses sprint back and get lined up. And if not, you get subbed out to make sure you understand it.
Yeah, I was trying to remember those 10 dunks AC had against UT, if those were mostly off of transition buckets. I was just trying to...
His was the exception to the rule.
What about the by the way, the Buc-ee's got my attention. Are you the people from Indiana, do they like jerky as much as we do, like beef jerky or venison sticks and all that kind of stuff, or what are y'all into?
Well, I love jerky. It's healthy for you. Strength coaches always keep it around.
Really?
I don't know. Jeremy Fudge turned me onto these things. Now these are a problem. Those cherry sours. Oh my gosh. Yeah.
Yeah. Not the highest protein. Yeah.
No, we keep them away from our players.
I would take, financial advice from Jeremy. I don't know as far as, although he has that, he wears those V-neck and he's in pretty good shape. It seems that makes me think of something. When you do a big thing like this Najee acquisition, do you have to rally the troops? Do y'all just sit there with a real healthy, huge NIL budget, or when something you need to get done, and I'm sure you started working on this thing a month or two ago with Najee or whoever you were going to sign. Do you have to, while you're trying to identify who you're going to bring in, and I think there was tons of paperwork, do you also have to call your money guys and go, hey, we're going to have to get the money up a little bit to go get this?
That's why I love you, Matt. We just call you, you send a check, and it gets done.
I can't even afford the sours at Buc-ee's. Yeah.
With him, the biggest thing was the compliance stuff and working through.
Okay. I mean, you didn't get him for free, but you had to work through a lot of compliance. I can't believe I like that you're having some sours.
I can't bring them out, not try one, you know.
I like that. Are you making progress? The one thing, TCU didn't shoot the ball very well the other day, and I think y'all did have something to do with that. Defensively, you start out in the zone, they hit you with some threes, then they hit you with some air balls, which unfortunately sometimes those lead to weird points, right? It's hard to kind of know how to block out on an air ball. What did you think of the defense for the most part? Were you pleased overall?
Yeah, the defense definitely had a good day. I know. Coach Sanchez wasn't happy with it. He thought we scored enough points to win. So that's what you want. You want coaches that every time you score, you're upset. At the same time, hopefully our defense can continue to trend up, because we all know some nights the shots are falling, sometimes they're not. So I think and James' presence inside at the end of the day, that 7'7" wingspan is real, and that does affect shots.
What are those T-shirts? Wingspan matters. Doesn't actually have some of those. This Iowa State team, I just wanted, going into this game tonight. I mean, this is, and we're recording this, by the way, but we're going to run this on game day. I don't want people to think you were just eating sours right before tip-off. Yeah. Although I think that's good to eat a few sours. This Momchilovich is how we say it in Kaufman County. He's really 20 points a game. He's always been a good player. He's been with them for like 3-4 years, it seems like, but he's always been kind of a 3-point specialist. Man, this year he's on fire, and then you put that with Jefferson. They've had Lipsy for about 8 years now. This is you talked about having to get guys that none of them played a Big 12 game. They have people who've played, seem like 75, 50 Big 12 games, right? And so that's the thing. They've had to integrate some new players, but they also have a lot of old experience. This is what you kind of want to be. And that's why they're number 3 in the country. What stands out about them, and then what are you going to have to do to pull the upset at home?
Well, I think first and foremost, you hit it on the head as far as they have experience. You got Lipsy, Milan, Jefferson. That's 3 of the best players in the nation, and they've played together. They've been together. They've been through the wars together. They know what TJ wants. TJ knows what they're going to deliver and do, and it's easy to put people around those 3. They've done a great job in bringing in guys that have embraced their roles and have been supportive. But at the end of the day, those big 3 together, as long as they've been together in that system, that's why they're number 3 in the nation. And I think we all agree with the transfer portal. I mean, the biggest thing you can do is retain your best players. And if you do that, it's such an advantage, because at the end of the day, it does take time to bake a cake. And no matter what you say, it takes a year together. You're better off than just getting together. In 2 years together, you're better off than just getting together. 3 years together. So this is in Lipsy, as you said, been there 8 years, it feels like, but he's a guy that family or one of his parents works at Iowa State, and he's done a great job in representing their program since he's been there for sure.
That was one of the maddest I've ever seen you at like a conference tournament game, and y'all had not done something. I think you had not rebounded that night or something. And I wandered off into some question, and you kind of had to bark at me a little bit. I think you were like, "Show up! I'll show you what happens in practice." And I kind of, I kind of liked it. I don't mind. I've been barked at a few times, but this is a game that you need the crowd. This is what this facility's for. And this is the students, and I know they're still, I guess, haven't come back from break, but you need a strong in these next two games. I won't talk to you before the Houston game either, but still, just focused on Iowa State right now. I mean, you need this to be a raucous environment, don't you?
Well, every game needs to be a raucous environment because there are no easy opponents in the Big 12, and protecting your home court is so important and paramount if you want to be successful. We've been so blessed to have great fan support from the community. Obviously, students bring a special energy. They're not here. Everybody else has got to pick it up.
All right. The media will be there. They'll be in their place, but they can't. They're not allowed to really participate in any of that stuff. But, Scott, thank you. Always look forward to our conversations. And this is going to be, I mean, these are tough games, but as you said, they're also huge opportunities. So I hear people say you just need to win one of these next two. How about you win two of them? I mean, I haven't heard anybody bring up that scenario. So I would like to put that out there.
I appreciate you, Matt. And you know what? I like your scenario.
There it is. Scott Drew on the Matt Mosley Show, Rogue Media Network. And thank you for being with this show. And the game is tonight. Watch it on Peacock. We'll see you tomorrow.
When you strive for greatness, you have a target on your back. And when it comes to finances, we're all targets for scammers. With the right game plan, you can protect yourself. Don't get faked by fraud.
Here's a tip. Never deposit someone else's money into your bank account. Scammers will send you money or overpay you and then ask you to refund a portion of the money back to them. This is a scam.
This message is brought to you by Central National Bank.
If you want the best for your body, you want Ascension Providence, the largest sports and orthopedics group in Central Texas. Using innovative and cutting-edge technology, we're able to understand your body better than ever, delivering treatment with precision. And with our fellowship-trained and board-certified doctors, you'll receive excellent care. Work with a team dedicated to your health, wellness, and safety.
So you can perform at your best.
Ascension Providence, caring for Texas families for over 120 years.
Everybody at Equilife really has a passion and a real interest in helping people feel well. How much further can we go to get you feeling even better? It is a complete partnership between the two of us.
What if you could clean clean? With bio-based formulas and deep cleaning enzymes. No dyes, phthalates, or mystery ingredients. Just powerful pods for your dishes and laundry. Now you can, with drops made clean, made to clean.
It's not just a glove, it's a 44 Pro. Crafted with dedication, made for performance, and built to last. Get your custom glove today at 44pro.com and experience the 44 Pro difference. That's 44pro.com, 44 Pro.
It doesn't matter if your investment budget is small or big. All you need is Benzinga Pro and its powerful news alerts, price tracking, and portfolio monitoring. Subscribe now, and we'll skyrocket your portfolio today.
I am obsessed with helping business owners increase their traffic and turn it into profit through the power of Pinterest marketing. It's this amazing platform where people are looking for ideas, inspiration. They have a problem and they're actively looking for a solution.
It's hard to find supplements that work. No, thank you. Plant-based supplements made from the Earth's most powerful plants for your immune health, gut health, workouts, and more. Find out more at auraorganic.com.
Protect your online privacy with NordVPN. Browse securely, access content from anywhere, and keep your data safe with military-grade encryption. NordVPN.com. That's NORDVPN.com.